E3 Media.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Talking Through the Media, your home for entertainment news and reviews by fans for fans. I'm your host, Chris Fagan, and I'm 3 minutes late again, but I'm sorry. It's all this guy's fault. Yep, throwing you under the bus. What's going on, Rob? How you doing?
Doing great. Glad to be here.
Guys, again, this is the show where we're going to talk about the topics that are going on during the week and just give our opinions on it. We're going to make it more of a laid-back, tight 30, because since I started late, I'm going to activate the tight 30 curse. You know, I told you about that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Every time you say that, we don't make it 30.
Yes. That's my gift to you all. So enjoy that. Let me make sure that I get all the things that are kind of in the way out of the way real quick. You know what? I'm just gonna do it. You know what? It's fine. Let it fly. Let's let your freak flag fly. Guys, we're gonna go over some topics. We're gonna talk a little bit about what's going on with James Gunn. Superman had some news. DC's in a little bit of hot water besides trailers and things like that. Also some casting rumor conversations and some comment controversies and all that. So what do you think about the topics for tonight that we're about to get into?
I think we got some ground to cover. Should be some interesting things.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get some feedback from the audience there and get some of these may be controversial, but we'll see how that's portrayed.
Yeah. And guys, if you guys want to comment, go check the box below. Put your thoughts in the box. Let us know what you guys think at all times on any of the topics. I have a polling question up right now in regards to the Captain America comment controversy thing. So let us know what your thoughts are. We'll share the polling. I'll go into the post, our YouTube channel posts. I've posted a lot of polling questions throughout on Twitter and on YouTube and stuff. I want to get your thoughts on it. I know we normally don't do a show on a Friday. We used to do it mostly on Thursdays, and we're focusing more on the weekend now. But things are kind of changing. I might be getting freed up again, so I'm going to be bringing it back on maybe Thursday. Maybe I've always fantasized about Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So let make my the dreams come true here, guys. Maybe we'll be streaming a lot more.
Absolutely.
And I guess we'll look behind the curtain. Let's go back behind the curtain a little bit. I was talking with you earlier. I said maybe if my lazy butt can't get my act together, maybe Rob might want to take over the show. And
hopefully I can get to the level you are with the experience of being able to set up the stream.
That's not possible. I am half man, half amazing. I'm sorry.
One day maybe I can be partially as amazing.
Be a part of. Oh, you're Ariel now. You want to be a part of my world, obviously. No, but guys, if you guys want to hear from the prop master himself, and on the thoughts on all of the latest news and the topics of movie reviews and stuff that we do here on this show. Sometimes if I'm not available, I wouldn't mind. I trust Rob. I've gotten to know him and I like his work and his comments on things, his insight into what it all means. I love it. So yeah, definitely trust you.
Mirrors.
Yeah, the smoke in the mirrors, man. But let's get right into it, guys. I promise. Yeah, we're sorry. 7 minutes into recording. We're like 5 minutes live. Tight 25. Got you. We're gonna rock and or roll. Let's get into it. The first topic of the week here on Talking Through the Media. Before we get started, remember, hit the subscribe button. If you want to become a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. I rigged it so only people that can comment are the subscribers. You want to talk shit? Become a subscriber. I said
earn the right.
You got to earn that right. Dip in, churn. You can churn this channel. Churn. Get in there. Get in. Throw a little jab at James Gunn. Dip in. Dip out. Whatever you want to say. But yeah, I'm just committing to the subscribers tonight and. But if you want to subscribe, do so. We appreciate it. If you want to donate, help us out. Follow us on all the socials. Support our podcast. If you don't just want to watch us on YouTube, we're also on the other platforms as well. We're on Kick. We're streaming right now on Instagram. We're streaming all of them. Support us on all those things, and let's keep talking. First topic of the week. Okay. Anthony Mackie, the backlash, the comments. So Anthony Mackie was on an interview, and he gave his thoughts about what Captain America means to him. What did you see exactly what he mostly had to say?
I did see the comment. It seemed to me like, it was kind of taken a little bit out of context, or when it's framed into context, it may have one meaning. When it's taken out of context, it could be a very different meaning. So I do think that, there's a couple different possibilities as why he made this statement. I know there could be a directive coming down to portray Captain America's character as a more international hero and maybe less nationalism specifically to America. And there's a fine line maybe between being national focused and where it comes off as blustering or egocentric. So I think maybe that may be where he was trying to steer away from. But that's a double-edged sword. You also have your people that are very adamant about they're nationalists. The U.S. is their America is their bread and butter, and that's the way they feel.
America, where's that? You mean America?
America. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm one of those people as well, so I fully agree. And I think that they are just as passionate as he is about his thoughts of where the character should be. And I think there's room for everyone in that particular. In the comics, he is a international hero. He's not the American hero. He is an international hero. But he is Captain America.
Yeah. His name is Captain.
Yeah. The symbolism of it is one thing.
Yeah. But
I do think there may be a little bit of a directive coming out from Disney to make that aspect a little bit more pronounced.
I'm gonna go into a little bit about exactly what he said. So I found the actual quote. So he was asked a question about like what Captain America. Like it feels like a elementary probably like what do you want to be when you grow up? Like what does Captain America mean to you? And you start writing down the big crayons and stuff. And this is what he said in big red, white, and blue crayon. He said, here we go. For me, he said it. He said for me. I don't know if the soundboard is working.
For me.
He said, for me, I feel like for me, Captain America represents a lot of different things. And I don't think the term America should be one of those representations. Mackie said, it's about a man who keeps his word, who has honor, dignity, and integrity. Someone who is trustworthy and dependable. So you know what that means. You are thoroughly un-American, right? Like what was that of Clue? Like Mr. Body considered you thoroughly un-American. The actor should not tell the world that his character represents hope and honor, I guess. But he's not wrong. That is what Captain America represents. He represents those things. And just like you were saying, it reminds me of when like DC wanted to emphasize the fact that Superman technically is an international. He's a hero of Earth, the protector of Earth. Yeah, he landed in America. He was raised in America. He's raised as a good kid, from America, a farm boy from America. That's how he was raised, and that's how he was brought up. But I mean, he technically is an immigrant. He's a technically illegal alien, but he doesn't just save Americans. And so they wanted to, for truth, justice, and the American way. They decided to knock out the American way. What was it? I think they wanted to change it to the truth, justice, and a better tomorrow. And then there was a whole backlash about that. But what about the America way? But I'm like, but doesn't just save America, and they're trying to evolve him into a more global, hero. And let's be honest, marketing wise, you have a lot of countries that buy American products that don't really like the word America on the poster or on the brand. They kind of they want to feel included. But I mean.
Yeah, I think it's taken on that kind of nomenclature of being blustering. Everyone now they feel it's blustering. Where the other side of that coin is to have the pride in the country, and I think that needs equal representation.
Yeah. And here was his response after the backlash that he got. I'm sorry. Let me go back. After the backlash that he did receive, he went on to say, he later said, I had it a second ago. Here it is. See, Anthony Mackie took to Instagram Tuesday to clarify his viral comment about what Captain America represents. He said, "Let me be clear about this. I am a proud American, and taking on the shield of a hero like Captain America is the honor of a lifetime. I have the utmost respect for those who've served and have served our country. Captain America has universal characteristics that people all over the world can relate to." Just like exactly like what you that's he said. That's what he was. I am proud to be an American. He's just, but the character has characteristics to inspire the world.
Yeah.
Is this much to do about nothing, or is this, or should he be booted out?
If it's used as a way to make the IP more marketable to other countries, I don't necessarily know how I feel about it.
Mm-hmm. Only because the word America is in it?
Well, just
but
the intention of what are you doing? Are you modifying? Are you trying to steer this idealism one way because it's better marketable towards an international market, or is it because of the blustering aspect in it, trying to almost having a negative inclination to that thought process? So,
well, that was just my joke about like the marketing thing. But I get what you're just saying about that. But but it's basically what actually Captain America. I mean, but look at Chris Evans' portrayal since the first movie. I mean, he was by the time he got to Winter Soldier, America was clear on their position. He had orders, but he bucked the system. He was constantly going against the grain. He fought for his friend to do the morally right thing. He had his orders from America to do what Captain America better do. I gave you a direct order. I gave you a directive, and he went against it. Captain America is always what's the term against power or something against what is the term something not fighting against power or the powers that be or not thumbing his nose at it. I forgot the term, but he was always kind of going against the grain for what for his morality, for what he knows is right. Yeah. And that would be to disobey a direct order from his superiors. For like when America is like he's that guiding light. Yeah, you might be the president, or you might be the guy in charge, or the woman in charge, or whatever. You might be the person in charge of this or that and the other, and you're representing the country. You're a senator. You're this or that. But if you're wrong, you're wrong. I'm gonna do what's morally right. With in Civil War. When the new law about the Accords, it was wrong, and he knew in his heart that it wasn't. He disbanded the Avengers because of they were split down. He's always Captain America is gonna do the honorable thing, even if it's against what America thinks that it's right.
He won't compromise his
morals to just follow orders. Yeah. And I think I feel like that's what Anthony Mackie was getting to. And then I felt like, whenever people feel a trend and they want to, be controversial, make money. This is trending right now. We're going to make some money off it.
Here's another thing other than this statement and what we're talking about right now. Something that's maybe a little less obvious that may be indicate a little bit of a steer from a nationalism thought process is look at the costume, look at the colors. Mm-hmm. You don't see red, white, and blue costume. Is that
in whose costume? In Chris Evans' costume?
No, in Anthony Mackie.
Well, there was no red in Chris Evans' costume in Winter Soldier.
That change. Is that a conscious effort? Is that intentionally to steer away from the American national idealism and more towards a international?
I just thought that it would look more badass and stealthy when he jumped on that boat and he fought. I mean, that's
that plays into it as well. Color palette. I'm the world's worst. I'm definitely not the person you ever want to pick for a color palette idea. That could very well play into it. And some may think, okay, well, the red, white, and blue is may seem a little outdated as far as the color palette. The new technological, a little bit more advanced, a little bit more modern. The color palette is a little different. I completely understand that.
Let's see. I'm trying to find the comment before we move on to the next subject. I know we kind of said on this one for a while, but the reason why people are thinking like this is like a hypocritical thing, like they were just jumping all over Anthony Mackie, was because somebody found a quote when pretty much the same question was asked of Chris Evans back in 2011. Chris Evans will go on to become one of the most iconic. This is from Screen Rant. Most iconic contributors to the MCU as one of the flagship heroes. It says, while Chris Evans doesn't explicitly state here that America shouldn't be one of the representation factors into what embodies the role, what the role means, he says as much by asserting that his name should be changed to Captain Good, doing away with the America aspect entirely. He also accurately points out that he goes, well, let's see, this is what Chris Evans had to say. Well, to me, I'm not trying to get too lost in the America side of it. This isn't a flag waving movie. It's a red, white, and blue, but it just so happens that the character was created in America during wartime when there was a common enemy, even though it is Captain America. I've said before in interviews, it feels more like he should just be called Captain Good. He laughs. He was created at a time when there was this undeniable evil, and this guy was kind of created to fight that evil. I think that everyone could agree that schmazzies, sometimes that word gets you demonetized, were bad, and he, Cap, just so happens to wear the red, white, and blue. So he joked about like taking the America out of Captain America and maybe he should be called Captain Good. So it's like when people compared it, it's like okay, there was no. He said this back in 2011. Nobody was like. I don't remember it trending when that came out, when that interview came out. I know Twitter was young, but I agree. I think that when you compare the two, I think the backlash is just, I'm not going to say hypocritical. I think the word hypocritical, because I'm sure a lot of people aren't aware of that old interview. I feel like that interview probably came and went from Chris Evans. They didn't really care. Maybe there was some people online going, what the hell is he talking about? Captain Good? Fuck that. I'm sure there was. I mean, come on, there always is. There's going to be. Yeah. But it didn't trend. And so so technically kind of never happened in a way. But when you put it side by side, let's say Chris Evans said this like 2 days before Anthony Mackie said what he said. I'm like, this to me is basically the same thing. But I mean, that's neither here nor there. But what do you think about that? Now, did you hear what Chris Evans had to say about Captain America?
I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with Anthony Mackie's statement in general. I think if that's his thought or his feeling, entitled to his opinion. Yeah. It is what it is.
You're entitled to your own opinion, Chris and Anthony, but you're not entitled to your own facts. This is America. Shut the hell up and throw your shield. That's what I'm pretty sure that's what he got. It's just sad that people have to go as far. It almost reminds me of that Kaepernick thing. It's like, oh, you're fighting against, boycotting against this. You must hate the troops. It's like I didn't say that. People always want to just like why? What was it? Why are you kneeling? Oh, it was.
Is that the term gaslighting?
Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah, 100%. It's like why are you kneeling in protest? Oh, police brutality. I'm protesting it. Racial police brutality. Oh, really? Oh, okay. You must hate the troops. Like it just pissed me off. Like so weird. Guys, let us know what you guys think about that. And as I always say, let's keep talking. Put your thoughts about that. Let's talk about it. Okay, real fast. Moving on to the next topic of the night. guys, there was a little bit of rumors going around. I'm a huge fan of the TV show Euphoria. I am a Hunter Schafer fan, and recently Hunter Schafer has come into the news again about some more fantasy casting. It was last year. People were talking about Hunter Schafer and wanting her to play Zelda. That was in 2024. But now everybody's going on and on about the upcoming MCU X-Men version of the MCU version of the X-Men, and everybody's fantasy casting and whatnot. And it was something that came up that really had me go, this is an interesting one. Hunter Schafer's name came up again for Mystique. And I personally, I like the idea. I mean, like as long as the person's a good actor and all that, blah 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 blah. But let me tell you what I really thought. I wonder what the everything is woke guys are going to say about this one, because I have some technical comments about this that I was looking for the hypocrisy. But I'm a fan of Hunter. I loved that show Euphoria. I'm one of those. I'm probably I probably shouldn't admit that. I feel like a dirty old man, saying that show is like, whoo. I have to remind myself almost in every scene that those are adults. Those are actors, or those adults. They're pretending to be high school kids, but that just I'd have to just turn it off. But you heard about, so what do you think? Okay, people are buzzing about Hunter Schafer as Mystique. Do you see a Mystique there?
I think it's possible. I do not know, honestly, a whole lot of her work or acting ability. I haven't watched a lot of stuff. And so I will say that I would like to see a little bit of the Mystique, more like, when, who was it that played this last one?
Jennifer
Lawrence.
Lawrence, yes.
I liked her as Mystique, but some of what was missing from her portrayal was some of the what's a good term here? Some of the
enthusiasm.
No, well, yes, some of the enthusiasm.
The give a fuckiness. It's like, no, that's my opinion. Like she was phoning it in towards the end, in my opinion. Like, go ahead.
Some of the some of the snarkiness and some of the general mischievousness is probably one of the good descriptors for that character.
Like the original character from the first X-Men movie, like that scene in the helicopter where she used her feet to put up to the senator's throat. Yeah. And in that line that she gave, it was men like you that
Rebecca
made me.
Romaine.
Yeah, Rebecca Romaine.
She had that edgy
that presence,
feel, edgy presence to her character. Yeah, and very mischievous and chaotic neutral, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah,
chaotic neutral would be
#chaotic neutral.
Yeah, would be where that character is.
Chaotic fluid. I mean,
and I think Hunter may be able to portray and bring that character to fruition a little bit.
And Euphoria, she brings the chaos. I'll give her that.
And that's probably why a lot of these fantasy, casting people are, and they're really associating, some of the mannerisms and stuff with that character from Euphoria.
So young, so naive. No. It's because they want to be controversial. This is why I was thinking that people were making this a big deal, because everyone knows. People who don't, the people who know, they know that. And I was like, I before we started rolling, I said, are you aware? You're aware that that this actress, she is a trans woman, right? You're like, oh no, you said you didn't know. First, you didn't know. I said that's why people were. That's why I was curious on how certain outlets out there, I won't name them, we're going to respond to certain like that, because usually when it's like like race swapping or whatever the topic is, a straight person playing gay or a character that used to be this race is now that race. If everybody just goes all up in a roar and wants to make a controversy about everything, make a big deal about everything. So I was curious, because if Mystique, I'm like, she can change her sex. She can be a woman. She is. I mean, when you look her up in Marvel, she is a woman, but she can become a man. And then I learned something I didn't know. I didn't know that I thought she gave birth to Nightcrawler. I knew she was Nightcrawler's mother. No, she's technically Nightcrawler's father. I didn't know she turned into she's the form of a man and impregnated another woman to create Nightcrawler. I did not know this. This was new information to me. So
does that make this fantasy casting
more
accurate?
That's why I thought this was. That's why I thought that people were going to start. I was curious on how people were going to react to that, and I was pleasantly surprised when I saw some outlets that I will not name, who I know in other topics would be like, "This is everything's woke and blah 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 blah," and they were like, "You know what?" I was so surprised. There were some outlets who it's like, it's like when that crazy friend or that maybe that relative, what Uncle Bob is gonna say about this at Thanksgiving,
and then they have that comment.
Yeah, and it's like it's like when I don't know. I was talking about my ex-wife today. I know she's gonna have a problem with this, and then she surprises me and goes and sends that text. And goes, I'm okay with it. I'm like, I was surprised. That shocked me. But oh my God, we got a little. It's adjustable. I thought you had technical difficulties with the glasses there. But
time for a new pair.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised on some of the response to it. But as far as that one thing, what do you think? Is it a big deal? Is it not? I mean, is it perfect casting? Technically, I don't want to touch that.
I don't know if it's perfect casting. I haven't seen enough of her work, so I really can't gauge that. And also it's like let's do a panel. Where's our other options? Where's our A, B, or C? Yeah. Show me what else is out there.
I'm sure there's a bunch of names that can be thrown around that I would equally love, but I don't mind. I'm okay with this. And not just because of the whole funny, the thing. Technically, Mystique is technically this or that. I've seen her work. I know she could do it just as well as Jennifer Lawrence and just as well as Rebecca Romaine. I love Rebecca Romaine. I was so happy when she came back in First Class when Jennifer Lawrence turned into Rebecca Romaine. Would this be better for you? I'm older. I'm not now. Am I too young? I was like,
that was a good throwback.
I was a good little
throwback. Yep.
I was like, Magneto, resist. She's resist. like Chris Hansen is probably right around the corner. but I would not be against this one. I was just let us know what you guys think about this whole thing. I know is it much to do about nothing. I've got a lot of polling questions in there, and I said it on. I think I put it on Twitter as well. If I can pull it up really fast, I can go to the channel and show it. But let us know what you guys think. And like I always say, let's keep talking. I'll pull it up and we'll come back to it a little bit later. To the last topic of the night, because we're kind of going on overtime here. Real quick, there was some issues again with DC. Most recently. The beginning of the week when that new trailer or TV spot for Superman, the upcoming Superman movie. There's a scene. I was like, I asked Rob. I said, Rob, did you hear about this whole thing with Superman? He was like, you're like, no. Like, I was like, well, something with his eye. And he was like, you mean the barrel roll thing? like really like the barrel roll thing. I thought
it was cool. I'd never seen that in the scene, so I thought them throwing the barrel roll in there was.
Yeah, it was pretty much the same exact trailer, except that they just threw some extra stuff in it. So it was a good little TV spot. But I was like, no, not just that, not just the barrel roll thing. It was the fact that when he did the barrel roll, when you freeze framed it, it was something about his eyes being crossed or something like that, and people making a big deal about it and making memes and stuff and going crazy. Everybody, what did the Joker say? And everybody loses their minds because it's not part of the plan and stuff. So to the point where James Gunn himself even had to respond to the backlash about the cross-eyed Superman stuff. It was ridiculous. I showed you the comments that were made and the memes and all that stuff that were made. What do you real fast? What is this? Are people just looking? Like I said, are they just looking for things to bash on?
Why did you pause it? I mean, why did you freeze frame and look at his eyeball? It's like,
Right.
why? I mean, I thought the scene was cool, and so James Gunn responded, because I guess a lot of people said, oh, this is bad CGI work or something like that, and he responded with like, no, that's. There's the background, of course, is CGI,
right?
But his face, that was all live. That was the practical.
That was him.
That's a practical effect,
right?
They had him on a wire rig and they spun him, and the close up on his face.
Maybe it was the camera, the wide angle thing.
They did say it was a wide angle lens, and that can give you a little bit of distortion. But I think there's also a contributing factor of look at the face angle, look at the angle from where the camera's shooting.
Yeah.
Who cares?
I mean, my eyeball does that. I mean, if you look closely, I mean, I've looked at myself in pictures and stuff and selfies, and I'm like, why am I looking like my eyes kind of? I'm like, but maybe that's always been the thing, or maybe as I age, maybe it's just something that's happening. I don't know. But
it puts you on a wire rig and spin you around in a barrel roll and see what your eyeballs do.
Yeah, I was telling Rob a story about when my son, with my firstborn, was a baby, and I was playing with him, and I did a spin, and I looked at his face, and his eyes, it was newborn, he was a baby, his eyes went everywhere, and I freaked out. I was like, oh my God, I thought I broke my son. It's just maybe something that happens. It's probably a natural thing. I bet almost every person that comments it happens to. There are probably pictures. If you look closely, you might have never noticed it. It's just something that happens. Is it worth? Does James Gunn need to go into the editing room and fix it? No, you're not gonna even notice it. And I'm sure nobody would have noticed it if it wasn't for that one, that super sweaty nerd that who loves Zack Snyder so much he freeze framed every still until he goes, yes, this is it. This is the thing that's going to take Corn Sweat down, but there again, we were talking about the any media is good media, right? Yeah.
So why would James Gunn not throw a comment? Why would you not even build fervor around the release?
Yeah.
In every little bit of talk, I mean, we're talking about it. We're talking about it on our platform. So others are talking about it.
Right.
It's all good, free publicity, right? So
look at that. I mean, and you can. It's barely noticeable. And in the moment, you wouldn't notice it. And for all we know, that's exactly when they. For all we know, they probably, while he was on those wires, they probably spent his ass around, and that's probably what the human face does when you're like zipped around real quick. Your eyes probably have to readjust.
I mean, who wants to throw stones about facial symmetry and eye stuff? It's like, really, man? I mean, look at a lot of people. If you look at them and bisect their face, we're humans, man. We're not perfect.
But he is Kryptonian.
He gets a lot. I bet you he gets a lot more looks than I do.
Yeah.
So I'm going to sit here and keep my mouth shut.
Yeah. But the memes just kept coming in, like things like this, like Henry, like Zack Snyder would never look at this is. It just kept coming in. My favorite one was the one where the two lasers were going in opposite directions and stuff like that. But James Gunn, but you said like you reminded that James Gunn had a little response to it, but to me it's just sad that we are we so nitpicking, whether it's a Captain America quote, it's
I think the bigger problem, other than this thing, is the fact that lawsuit.
Talk about it. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
So there's some talks about I guess one of the creators, his estate is filing an injunction in some of the foreign countries.
Is it Bob Siegel? Was it his estate?
I don't remember exactly. That may be right. But so there's some copyright laws in some other countries that leave some gray area to basically the purchase of the rights from that content from the original creator. That after a certain amount of time, that content should go back to the estate. So they're suing for injunction and release in those particular countries where that applies, more or less because they want to get their cut of the finances from this film.
Yeah. So I looked it up right now. It says, let's see. From CBR.com. Superman creators estate sues Warner Brothers Discovery and DC over James Gunn's film. Warner Brothers Discovery and DC Comics are reportedly being sued by the estate of Superman creator Josh Shuster. The suit directly mentions the release of James Gunn's upcoming DCU film, claiming copyright infringement in several territories. According to Deadline, Schuster's estate claims that Warner Brothers and DC lack the rights to release James Gunn's Superman film, and a suit filed in federal court in the Southern District of New York seeks damages and injunction relief for defendants' ongoing infringement in Canada, the United Kingdom, Ireland, and Australia, as well as a declaratory relief establishing the Schuster's estate's ownership rights across relevant jurisdictions. So what Rob is saying is 100%. We perfectly timed this technicality in this country, in that country, in this country, in that country, which we know will bring in would devastate you if you could not release it. It's almost like a mobster like kind of threatening you without really threatening you. It'd be really sad if you couldn't release that film in Ireland, England, and really a shame, right?
Yeah, the timing is
perfect.
Perfect, yeah.
It's funny how these lawsuits never ever come up until something is right about like at the finish line. It's funny because there was another movie where almost the exact same thing happened. Where the lawsuit was perfectly timed right before the release, where a settlement had to be made. What do you think they're going to try to settle for? I mean, this is the Superman estate. How are they really?
Well,
I remember
there's what they'll settle for, and there's what they're going for.
Right, exactly. Well, yeah, but I remember it was the Michael Jackson estate, the Michael Jackson biopic that's coming out. But get this. This was a F up on the lawyers of the Michael Jackson estate's part. This wasn't an F up from the film. So it's rumored that that the Michael Jackson estate did allow that the conversation about Michael's controversy, the lawsuits and stuff like that, the allegations, it will be featured in the movie. Right from the beginning and in the end. And the main accuser's family is mentioned in this movie. They wrote this into the script. The Michael Jackson estate, the family, the surviving family members, they all approved it. You got the director and everybody. They filmed it. It's done. It's already in post. Then the lawyer double checked some lawsuits, some settlements from back in the day. Turns out it was specifically said in the settlement that accuser's family that was mentioned. It said specifically in the agreement, you will never, ever use our names in any upcoming movies about Michael Jackson ever in the future. Oops. Overlook. Because the directors and everybody, they made the damn movie based on what they were told. You're good to go. Turns out, no, you're not. So now they have to cut all of it because they found out. Like, is my son mentioned in this? Is my family mentioned in this? They are? Okay. Wait until if you release this movie, I'm suing you for $500 million and will win.
Yeah.
And I will
Especially
win.
If they warned him beforehand.
Yeah. They warned him back in the 90s when they settled. They were like, you better not ever do this. And they agreed, and the Jackson said, it's like, how could you But anyway, I'm sorry I got off top, but that's like months before that movie was about to come out. So like lawsuits like this, sometimes they're just perfectly timed.
It's really confusing. I mean, that's business law is a strange animal, but intellectual property like that, falling to the estate. I mean, the people who created this stuff are long gone.
Yeah.
But just because that IP is a legacy item,
yeah,
falls to their estate. Like,
yeah.
Imagine, if you created something and sold it, and then it becomes this huge thing, and now your grandchildren want to go after the people that you sold it to.
Yeah,
want
it back.
It's like, that deal was done previously. Granted, if I remember correctly, in looking at the pricing of, they sold it for like
Of what?
50.
What are you talking about?
The
Yeah.
original owner sold the rights to them for like $50 or something.
I mean, back then, like DC and Marvel was notorious of, you create a new character while you work with us. That character is our property. That's ours. And it's like, and all that. It was only until Image came out where they started giving the creators more power over their properties and stuff like that.
Yeah, and signing the correct legal documentation. Yeah.
But something that you've mentioned, like
competes and all that stuff, and that's all legal documentation, and it's whether or not it holds up in court or whatever is up to a court and lawyers to battle it out and decide.
I'm trying to get her on the show for an interview, but what you said earlier it reminds me of the creator, Bob Finger, the other half of the creation of Batman, and for years he was rarely, if not ever, meant it was like Batman created by Bob, was it Bob Kane? Batman created by Bob Kane, but technically Bob Kane came up with Batman. Technically, the concept of it, it was in a red suit. The cape had like little, it was red and black. It was very different. But the guy who came up with everything Batman to be today, Gotham City, all of his villains, the never killing code, like the how Batman acts, the little things like that. Didn't technically invent, but everything about Batman, Bob Finger invented it, and it took years for his estate to get the credit. It was one man. It's a documentary. I recommend it. It's on Hulu. A Batman and Bob or something like that. I'll look it up later, but I always recommend.
They didn't name that documentary "I Am Batman." That's missing.
No, it's not. No, it's not named. It's not named "I Am Batman," but it's Bob, Batman and Bill, because Bill, a guy named Bill was the guy who did some detective work, and he figured this whole thing out. That it was another person who came up with everything Batman to be, and he helped his surviving family member get the credit that Bill Finger it was Bill Finger to deserve. So now whenever you see something with Batman or a movie or anything like that, now it says Batman created by Bob Kane and Bill Finger. But it was a fascinating story. Like what you just said a minute ago about how, these people who signed these things are long gone, and then the estate and years later, how these things survive and whatnot. And then, but for her, it almost died. She was like the last surviving member. If she would have passed before they figured it all out, Bill Finger would have never gotten the credit.
I wonder what the difference is between, owning this intellectual property like that and like a patent. I know the patent stuff I think is a lot more cut and dry and more specific, where I guess the intellectual property gets so much. Yeah, I'm glad it's not me that has to debate.
We'll have to, we're gonna have to probably get one of those type of entertainment lawyers in here, just break it all down, but I'm afraid of that because he'll probably point out like the fact that T3 Media is not secure. Like, you know what, you don't have enough security. Anybody could just steal your channel if they wanted to. But let us know what you guys think about the whole thing with DC, the backlash with James Gunn. The whole conversation about this lawsuit that Robert brought to my attention. That's like I didn't know anything about this, and like I said, the timing of it. It's very interesting how like people wait for the perfect time to strike. Let's wait till the next Superman movie comes out. Maybe that's why DC didn't put Henry Cavill on a lot of things, and we didn't get a Man of Steel 2 and stuff. All that why isn't Henry Cavill being used stuff was happening. Maybe they knew a lawsuit was coming and they were trying to not use. Let's not make a Man of Steel 2 because these guys are threatening us. Maybe that's my conspiracy theory now. Maybe they knew that this lawsuit was coming. That's why they didn't do a Man of Steel 2. Maybe, just maybe.
Risk benefit. So risk of the potential lawsuit, the profit of, yeah.
Yeah, but if you can't release it in Canada, United Kingdom, that's gonna hurt your bottom line.
Yeah,
That's gonna hurt.
They definitely have their hooks in to the studio for sure for this. So
What do you think? Settle for what, 100 million? That they're gonna take that out of the marketing budget.
But I think they are definitely in a position where
They could win.
They could win, and they could force. Well, it probably would never go to court. I think they're in a strong enough position where they're going to force a settlement.
Take it out of the Aquaman 1 budget. I mean, that movie made $1 billion. Take it out of that. But let's see what happens. Guys, let us know what you guys think. There was not much in the comment section. I think we got a few votes. Do we have any? Let me close the poll now. Was there anything that came up? We had one comment that came in earlier on from was it Sin's Corners. I'm not planning to watch the Captain America anyway. So ... or ellipsis, whatever you want to call it. Right? So like, all right, okay. I mean, if you like it, I love it. But why? Is it? Is Chris? I was surprised. I like the fact that they put even in the movie or in the trailer when Harrison Ford was like, "You may be Captain America, but you're no Steve Rogers." So it's like, ooh, they're just like I was surprised in Captain America, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, how they really went there as far as like race.
I'm just
and
excited
things
to
like
see
that.
Harrison Ford and Red Hulk.
Make Hulk great again, man. I'm hoping that this awesome Red Hulk forces them to make Hulk again. I don't like Smart Hulk. I'm tired of Smart Hulk. We've had more Smart Hulk on screen than we've ever had raging badass Hulk. I'm tired of this. I don't want to see Smart Hulk anymore. It's ridiculous.
Maybe they're priming the audience for World War Hulk.
I hope so. I hope that with the coming of Red Hulk, I'm hoping that it's gonna be like, because come on, who are you gonna call besides Ghostbusters to handle Red Hulk? The Thunderbolts? Screw that. Nobody gonna. We need Bruce Banner. We need the real Hulk.
When's
to come back.
Thunderbolts release?
It's coming out this year. I'm looking forward to it. Are you looking forward to that one? What do you think about it? Looking forward to that Thunderbolts?
Yep. I think that's. I like a good anti-hero movie. So I think I'm gonna like it.
I'm so curious. Speaking about Captain America, like I wonder what U.S. agents' thoughts on what Captain America means to America is. Like
corner crying somewhere.
Yeah, like he was Captain America, and he was a damn asshole. He was a bad guy. So let's not take all this. I'm curious if they're gonna ask him that. Let's ask you the same question. What does U.S. agent mean to you? Let's take the U.S. out of it, and then we'll probably give him a pass because he's an anti-hero. Oh, he's just an asshole, Like give him a pass. It's fine. I'll be curious of that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Thunderbolts. I can't wait to see that. Let's see what was there did the vote tally up thing happen? I'll look into it later. I'll respond to that later. We're already way over time, guys. I already flew past that tight 30 20 minutes ago. You guys, share your thoughts, your comments, questions, concerns. Let us know what you guys think at all times. If you want to follow me, I'm at Chris W. Fagan on all the socials, or just at T3 Media Studios. I'm the one behind the wheel on that most of the time. And Rob, thank you for coming out. I'm sorry I kept you so late. We're past your bedtime. If people want to find you online, where can they do so?
You can find me at RXR Props.
And guys, I will do my best to get these segments out and check out your comments. I want to know what you guys think. I want to hear your thoughts on these topics that we talked about. And I probably will be back tomorrow. Maybe we'll do something different. I'll see how I feel. I'm tired. But till next time, guys. Peace. Thank you guys for watching our video. I really do appreciate it. Remember, you can support our show by becoming a member or a patron. So click the subscribe button. Don't forget to ring the bell for notifications so you'll never miss out on when we go live or post new content. Let's stay connected, grow this community together. Like, subscribe, comment, and let's keep talking.